Ciara. It's getting a little bit chilly here. It's been a long day in Tullamore, but we've witnessed 2 exciting quarterfinals and we've got the final. We're always going to be a little bit different with Meath and Dublin out of the equation, but I suppose your thoughts on the day overall first.
Yeah, I'd say interesting. Probably both second halves didn't go the way I thought they'd go. I thought they're fairly dull compared to the first halves of both games, but I think Galway and Kerry deserve to win both games, definitely.
It's a long time back now since that Galway-Cork game. Cork had won twice in the games in the championship to date, or one in the league, one in the championship. Galway were a lot of unknowns. The big question was how would they react from the Dublin game, and they seemed to just drive on from there.
Yeah, they showed a lot of maturity to not get overly emotional with that big win over the Dubs. And I think they dominated the game really. I never felt at any stage that Cork were going to come back or win. They didn't really seem to dominate a large period of the game either, and Galway really controlled it, and I'd say they didn't really rely on one or two individuals to carry them. I know Roisin Leonard scored a lot, but in general across the board it was a very level, strong performance from Galway.
It's calmed down a lot now, but there was a significant breeze that Galway had at the start of that game. They played with it and they pushed up and they got motoring, I suppose, in that first half.
Yeah, they did, and I think possibly Cork wanted to use that to their advantage in the second half, and it didn't really materialise. But Cork couldn't break down Galway in this middle third of the pitch. Like the Galway just built a wall, and Cork couldn't overcome it, defeat it. So that worked to Galway's advantage. So that when they turned the ball over in the middle third round midfield, they were able to attack right away. Whereas Cork kind of tried to play this running game of hand pass, and it didn't really materialise. They kicked a few long balls into Katie Quirk and she won them, but they didn't do that consistently, and the game ran away from them.
I suppose the big thing we're seeing with this Galway team is they've goals in them.
Yeah, they do. They take their opportunities when they get them. They scored a lot more from play from the against the Dubs the previous day, so they'll be happy with that. But they lost the second half to Cork, and Kerry actually lost the second half to Armagh here today, so both winners will be looking at themselves and saying we didn't perform in the second half, possibly got lucky, but yeah, like Galway were just too strong.
And I suppose the wind down clock gives us that opportunity, that Hail Mary moment at the end. Galway just up by a goal and there's a long ball just boomed in on top of the goal mouth. It gives you that bit of scramble.
Yeah, they had another goal chance just before it and they couldn't take it, and then that long ball in, the hooter went again when it was in the air. I just think when there's 30 players inside the 21, it's never really going to go into the goal, and yeah, Galway, just the celebrations afterwards was great to see.
Yeah, we'll keep it on the I suppose trying to calm down emotion could be the hardest thing in Galway. Both looking forward to both finals.
Yeah, like you need to celebrate. You need to celebrate a semi-final, and they need to go out tonight and dust off whatever energy that they have in them, and getting it to an All-Ireland final is huge, and they need to really soak in the feeling that the lads match is going to bring, and relish that, and use that to kind of to drive them forward, drive them in training. And look, they haven't been in many All-Ireland finals. A lot of the girls that are playing in the Galway teams have never been in semi-final or finals, and even playing in Croke Park will be huge for them. So they need to relish this opportunity and really enjoy it. Like, they're playing in a massive occasion and they have to enjoy the occasion.
Danny Moynihan, he had a difficult start with the league. I think it was largely hindered in the fact that so many of the large Kilkerran Clonberne contingent weren't available, but he's doing quite the job at the moment. Yeah,
and Cork as well, both teams relegated to Division 2 and both here playing in All-Ireland semi-final, and right after them the two teams that competed in the league final. So the league kind of it doesn't really say much for what happens later in the championship, but I think he's used that to his advantage, because girls have game time, and now coming into championship, whether it's their in-house games or people coming off the bench, they have experience, they've had minutes on the pitch this year, and that's proven a strength.
So that's Galway through to the final. The second one then, an Armagh side that started full of pace and full of excitement for the first 10 minutes in particular.
Yeah, they were very impressive in the first 10 minutes. I think they stunned Kerry a little bit. Kerry were chasing, and any one-on-ones Armagh seemed to be winning, and they just seemed to just slip through the Kerry defence. It looked so easy for them, and then the stoppage in play kind of gave Kerry a chance to relax and get to grips with the game, and they took control from then on. But Armagh were very, very dangerous, and it's a shame for them that they weren't able to continue that through the rest of the first half and into the second.
It probably was going to take a goal to swing that momentum in that game, but what a goal we got from Kerry.
Yeah, fantastic, like a kick out to midfield, and then midfield, one kick into the full forward and in the back of the net. Like it's football you want to see. It's nearly hurling style football. 3 kicks to the ball, but that long ball on Kerry's kickouts were causing Armagh a lot of problems in the first half, and Kerry got their goal off the back of that. But Armagh obviously discussed that at half time, and they had this kind of purple patch in the second half where they put Kerry under a lot of pressure, and that's because they went after Kerry's long kick out and got a lot of joy from it. So Galway will be looking at that and seeing that's one of Kerry's massive strengths. It's something Kerry can punish you on. They did it the last day as well. So yeah, fantastic football to see. We want to see more of it, that long kicking game that Kerry play.
You always talk about the importance of a goal and how your team can react to it, but instead this time it was Kerry who pushed on, got 1-5 in a row just before half time.
Yeah, and in that spell Armagh, any chance they got, they wasted in front of goal. But Kerry needed that cushion. The second half, very flat game, but they lost it 2 points to 1. And it's not often you win a game in the first half, and it's that spell before half time that Kerry pushed on, and without it they wouldn't be celebrating tonight.
Will Armagh have huge regrets in terms of that period? They didn't make advantage of the extra personnel there when they knew 8 minutes into the second half at half time in the team talk they would have a player extra. I know you talked about they pushed up, but only 2 points on the scoreboard. Probably they needed a lot more.
Yeah, they did. I think if you look at today on its own, they will be disappointed, and they left a lot behind, and they could have been better here and there, but they've scraped through a lot of matches this season where they've played like that and got the results. But as a whole, like Armagh themselves perhaps probably didn't see them competing in the All-Ireland semi-final this year. That was probably their maximum aim. They've been written off all season, even throughout the league. You kind of thought going into the league final, they've had their good spell in the league. Kerry are going to win it, and it didn't happen, and they've carried that momentum through. So I'd say in a couple of weeks' time, and looking back on the season, the review or whatever they do, they'll be mightily proud of themselves to get this far, because it's been a long time since they've competed like that this late into the championship. But today, possibly, yeah, they did leave it behind, but they probably didn't deserve to win either.
It's too easy to say, but Amy Mackin was a huge loss though.
Yeah, absolutely. Like having somebody as a target player in full forward is huge, and start the second half they had Kelly Mallon as a target in there. I know she's still carrying a knock, so but that direct ball in, and she was able to win it, and they capitalised on it a little bit, but they weren't able to sustain that. Take Kelly Mallon out of the equation, and Armagh had nobody to hit, and that's where Amy Mackin became a massive loss. But also her leadership on the pitch as well, and how she links up with the likes of Caroline O'Hanlon and her sister Blahin as well. But Kerry got to the All-Ireland final last year without their captain Siofra O'Shea, so it is a squad game. You need to be able to battle on and win games without your key players.
Yeah, of course you touched on Blahin there. Sinbend with 9 minutes to go. That was kind of the end of Armagh, really. Yeah,
it was kind of a stop-start period of the game, and you can see Armagh getting very, very frustrated. I don't think there was anything malicious in what Blahin did, and she did catch a girl in a high tackle a couple of moments before that as well. But look, it's just unfortunate. But if Blahin was still on the pitch in the last couple of minutes of the game, would Armagh have kicked on and brought it back to a level game or even a one? Probably not.
How did Kerry assess things? Obviously the number one goal, they're out through to the All-Ireland final, but 1 point in the second half, it's a long time to go and such a minimum score.
Yeah, like they kicked a lot of wides in the second half as well, easy wides, but they kind of played a little bit differently, and particularly in the last 5 minutes, rather than going after the game, they hand passed the ball around, and they were quite slow, whereas in the first half they were very, very direct. And maybe kicking into the sun that was here behind us, maybe they couldn't see players inside, so they couldn't be that direct, but they've done that in previous games as well. There was only a kick of the ball at that stage between the two teams, so repeating that the next day against Galway, they're not going to get away with it. Absolutely not. But I don't think Galway would be as defensive as Armagh were at that stage of the game either. But yeah, Kerry would be looking to replicate their first half in Croke Park, and hopefully second half will be much better.
So briefly then, we'll chat about it lots more in the next couple of weeks. Galway versus Kerry in Croker, 2 weeks time. Your early swing here, of course, you're wearing a bit of blue there as well. It'll be weird not seeing Dublin involved. Defeats bizarre on semi-final day, not being involved. But just on that game, from the small sample size of today in the semi-finals, where's your head going now?
Based on today, I'd probably say Galway had that extra bit of bite that Kerry kind of lacked in the second half. Galway have had to battle to get here, whereas Kerry's path was probably less of a battle, less of a fight. So I'd probably, based on today, tip Galway, but overall Kerry probably have that bit of maturity. Galway need to keep running, that form that they have at the moment. That's hard to do, but look, it's All-Ireland final day. I've been wrong with a lot of my predictions as well. So it's going to be very, very close. I wouldn't be surprised who wins, but today Galway. Tomorrow when I wake up, I might say Kerry.
Okay, well today we'll remain friends then. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ciara. It's been a brilliant day here in Tullamore.
Thanks.
Greg, really good start for your side, but I suppose Kerry just pushed on then at the end, did they?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know total scores or whatever. Kerry always had the purple patch crew, the game which was off, and then maybe we just didn't rally that as much as we had. But I still think in the first half we had 5 or 6 bad rides, and Kerry got 1-2 off their kickouts where we didn't pass. Really bad decision up here along the line where we had a free, should have been a free in. He gives a free out. Kerry come down and get the goal, but I don't think Kerry kicked on. Like obviously they scored 1-8. I just think we were maybe clinical enough. I thought defensively both sides were very good as regards maybe heroic defending. I thought Clonard McKimmich, the fullback, was possibly the player of the match. Obviously we didn't win the game, but I thought she was outstanding, the job she done and the reason why I hurt it. So yeah, it was very disappointing of how the game, I wouldn't say petered out, like we had obviously chances, but Kerry obviously a bit more of a seasoned team. They're obviously their third All-Ireland final in a row. Armagh's first time from 2015 getting to an All-Ireland semi-final, so there's obviously stuff for the grip to learn there, and obviously hopefully for them that they can put them learners into place and come back next year.
You started so well, you were a joy to watch, first 10 minutes in particular, flying at all angles, runners on the shoulder, coming around the loop.
Yeah, we have pace and stuff, but again, I just think from our point of view is maybe obviously between them blocking up the central channels and maybe we niggles and knocks, maybe a bit of Kerry cuteness from that point as regards of, referees can't see whatever's got all going on, but again, maybe some of our passing didn't go to that angle run, but again, we'd be happy with regards of our girls' attitude, how we've trained. Obviously a huge miss in Niamh Mackin, obviously arguably probably the best forward in Ireland, but again, that's up for other players to take on that mantle. I thought we did that in the first 10-15 minutes, but again, obviously Kerry got 2 grips in the second half and just shut up the whole central channel. You touched on it there, they did wind it down, held possession for large periods at the end there. Yeah, and that's obviously something that we had talked about, because obviously the wind had obviously died a bit there in the second half. We did talk, the bit that I'd be disappointed is when Kerry got that wee purple patch that we didn't control the ball. We took 3-4 really bad shots that were possibly not on, and you get them wide and you're not sort of set up to transition. And again, that's learnings, like obviously Bart Carling, it's a young enough team as regards of younger players coming in, but again, there are days that when you play at the top level, I think if you look at the Armagh men's game last week against Kerry, there are season kind of players who are turning over the ball, and to me that's the one thing you learn is you try and hold possession of the game, especially when there's a good breeze. So that's a learning for us as a team.
And I guess there's no easy way of doing that, it has to be done on the battlefield.
That's it, and every day you come out, and Kerry will probably have learnt more. Like we've played them 3 times this year, they probably learnt a wee bit more sometimes in the defeat. I thought obviously we handled, they have a very much vaunted forward line as regards with Chief O'Shea, maybe get 2 points, Louise and Mara Hurtick, Hannah O'Donoghue down in the area. I thought defensively our girls were heroic from our work rate, and they just turning the ball over in the first half especially. But again, it's just whoever puts the ball in the back of the net sometimes wins games, and unfortunately for us, Kerry did that.
Thank you very much, Greg.
No problem.
Niamh, nice scenes here in Tullamore now. You're through to the All-Ireland final.
Yeah, absolutely delighted. Just delighted to be into another All-Ireland final, and we'll be looking forward to it in a couple of weeks.
A real slog of a game, a real battle.
Yeah, it was an absolute battle for the 60 minutes. Armagh are absolute unbelievable team. They kept on going at us for the 60 minutes, and our defence had to be on their toes for the second half there, and thank God they were, and they put in a massive effort there.
They started so well, Armagh. They seem to be running from all angles into you.
Yeah, that's the way they've been playing all year. We knew that's how they were going to start the game. They just play very quick hands football, and yeah, they're just a very strong running team, and we knew we were going to be put to the pin of our collar for the first half anyway.
Dare I say it, a bit of old-fashioned Kerry football in for the goal?
Yeah, look, it was an incredible ball in, incredible pair of hands, and the offload was just excellent, so it came at a good time for us as well. So it did, so yeah, it was a super goal now for Kerry.
Yeah, that second quarter, we call it, was I think you got 1-5 without reply. You really put the foot down there.
Yeah, and I think that goal probably swung momentum in our way for the next few minutes leading on from that, and yeah, thankfully we were able to put them over the bar.
Do I dare call it roll up your sleeves in the second half? It was a real grind.
It was an absolute grind in the second half. I don't think there was too much scores from either side, but it was just a real kind of dogfight, as you said. The defence were massive for us. They were just they covered all the messy ball, and they were just magnificent in the second half. Our defence
showed a lot of courage streetwise. Just hold on to the football there at the end, I thought.
Yeah, we were able to maintain possession there going into the final few minutes, and yeah, we were just able to be smart about it, I suppose, and we were just able to get it over the line.
It's nice scenes now. You can feel a bit of a buzz in the air, can't you?
Oh yeah, look, absolutely. We're absolutely delighted to get into an All-Ireland final, and I suppose we're just back to work now during the week again, and we're just looking forward to it.
Yeah, Croke Park playing Galway in the final.
Yeah, we just caught a bit of their game before our own, and they look very impressive. So head down and do the homework on them for the next couple of weeks. But look, we hopefully go one more this year compared to the last couple of years. So yeah, it's just great to look forward to another All-Ireland final.
Well, enjoy the build-up and congrats again.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.